All right, with Johnny Lilly of the Independence Patriots, big game coming up this weekend, Friday night against Princeton. And first of all, John, I understand a little scary situation for you last week, heart attack in the third quarter, but yet here you are.
Well, yeah, and that's it's always an interesting dilemma in the middle of a game. But we finished out the game, and we got to the hospital, and then great care. Had people. Raleigh General treated me like a king, and we got everything done we needed to get done on Monday, and we're back out on the practice field this week, taking it easy, taking it real easy, let it heal up a little bit. But no, I appreciate it, and I'm just real excited about getting back on the field. I've been doing this since I was, almost 60 years. I've been on a football field or in a locker room. That's all I know. That's who I am. So, but it was interesting.
Well, we're certainly glad that it wasn't any worse than it was, and that you're still here coaching your kids. And like I said, Princeton, very, very good, tough team coming in here. Come off a 14-7 win over Woodrow. They're undefeated. They're number 3, I think, in AAA. What are your thoughts on this Princeton team?
Well, I mean, you got 2 Division I guys already been offered on the defensive line, and that's before you get to Lowe and Mosser. And here's the thing: we've played them in JV every year since we've been here, so the kids are familiar with each other. So it's not like we're not familiar with each other, and we know they have good football players, and hopefully we do too. So I don't look at it. I look at things a little bit different than everybody else does. I look at it like this is an opportunity. Like they're a great football team, and we will not see anybody. If we go all the way to the AA state championship, we're not going to see anybody with that talent. Some of the teams that we would see, they've already beat. So it's an opportunity for us to see where we're at going into the playoffs. Because if we go out and we would be successful, against Princeton, then we know we're a contender for the state championship in AA. So that's where we're at. I don't look at it like, oh my God, we're playing Princeton. No, I look at it as an opportunity that we're playing Princeton. So I'm sure they'll be fired up. I'm sure they're going to be jacked up. I'm sure they'll do everything they can because that's how they operate off adrenaline. So we've been there.
You look at their team last week. They didn't have Brad Moss, or they didn't have Markwell Lowe, their excellent running back. Then you add into that their quarterback, Chance Barker's a first-team AAA guy. Dan Jennings last week places Lowe. He's one of the D1 guys you were talking about, defensive for Penn State. He goes for 200. How do you go about trying to stop this offense? And you mentioned how good their line is.
Well, I don't know if you do stop them. It's just you got to slow them down. And try to put yourself in good situations. And I think it was very impressive, that you have your top 2 players and you still play a good football team and still beat them without your top 2 players. I think that speaks volumes for them. They should be feeling really comfortable with themselves achieving that goal. You know what I'm saying? Because we're both chasing the same thing. We're just chasing it in different classifications. So they're playing for a state championship in AAA. We're playing for a state championship in AA. So do we understand where we're at? Sure, we understand where we're at. But are they impressive? They're very impressive, and they've done a great job. And they should be very proud of what they accomplished. But we're trying to do something too. So we're going to try to go out and we're going to play and do what we do, and they're going to do what they do, and it'll be a fun game.
On the other side, how do you go about attacking their defense? Because they're a very good defensive team too.
Well, the same guys you talk about on offense are the same guys they got on defense. So, the thing is they're so fast in the secondary, so they can man you up. And then, with the 2 guys coming off the edge, they don't give you a lot of opportunities to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Well, Beckley did a good job because Beckley weighs, they got all them 300-pounders across the line. We don't. Tomorrow we'll have our top 2 offensive linemen aren't even playing tomorrow. So, we'll start 2 freshmen and a sophomore going against those 2 D1s. But here's the thing. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for those kids to grow up. It's an opportunity that if these 2 young men are truly Division I football players, then they get to see and measure themselves against those guys. So, our goal is our goal at the end of the day is to find some way to get to Charleston. And we're not going to play anybody from after Friday night that's as good as they are. So, it's a good game for us to have that growth and be ready.
But especially if you're having to put two freshmen and a sophomore on your line.
Yeah, and
against
freshman
those guys,
quarterback.
you'll know real quick.
Yeah, we'll find out real quick. But you know what? I like our guys. They work hard. They don't back away. You know, we could be like a lot of other teams and dodge people and all that. That's one reason why we're playing these guys, because there's 7 AA schools in the area that won't play us. So you know, it's either that or travel to South Carolina to find a football game. So you know, we'll accept a challenge, and it is a challenge for us. Don't think for one second we don't respect them, because we do. But I'm looking at it like an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to see how we hold up against one of the best AAA teams.
John, you've had 4 guys who really caught passes for you this year. 3 guys have been really big on big plays from your freshman quarterback, Princeton Linksweiler. You got Rose, and you got Dalton Atkins, Brady Rose and Dalton Atkins. How big have those guys been for your young quarterback?
They've been really good, and in the off season they worked really hard and they worked together, you know. And we got another young man, Bradbury, who does a really good job for us. And of course, you got Silas coming out of the backfield, who may be a better receiver than they are. But you know, they've been very productive this year. They work really hard, and they put a lot of pressure on themselves to be good. Sometimes I think they put too much pressure on themselves, but you know, I'm really proud of Dalton. Dalton's a guy that's been with me the whole time. You know, he's a homegrown Patriot. He's been with us the entire time. And he's had to play behind Linksweiler. He had to play behind the year before. He had to play behind Judah. And the year before his freshman year, he had to play behind, you know, Trey and Cyrus. So he's waited his turn. And because he has waited his turn, he's been rewarded this year because he's one of the top receivers in the area.
And both he and Linksweiler especially have been big on setting up touchdowns. If you look like it's like I said after the Nichols County game, it's almost like you could give these guys an assist because you know they do the bit they carry. Used to be,
yeah.
You know,
both of them get caught on the 2-yard line. It's just bad luck, you know. Same with Brock. You know, Brock could probably have eight more touchdowns if they didn't get caught on the 2-yard line. But you know, that's the way God had it. And but you know, fortunately,
it's not really a put down. I mean,
it's not. Yeah, I mean, you know, Links has been a good home run hitter for us. He was a good home run hitter for us last year. Yeah, Dalton's a dink and dunk guy. You know, he can get you 5, 6, 7 yards when you need it. Little Wes Welker type guy. And you know, on the outside, you know, Rose has excellent hands. You know, he may have the best hands out of everybody. You know, so yeah, we feel comfortable. You know, with our receiving core. We got 2 or 3 kids in the 8th grade I think are going to step in and take those guys' places next year. That's going to be pretty good. And we got 2 or 3 young ones in the 10th grade waiting their turn. So you know, we're pretty excited about our wide receiving room.
And you've had that. People probably don't realize it because of the depth of the linebackers you've always had, the type of running backs you've had over here. At Independence, Judah Price, Atticus Goodson, Tyler Linksweiler. These are great guys.
Silas, yeah.
And Silas is on his way to a 1,500 yard, which I think would be the 5th straight year you've had a 1,500. Maybe the 6th straight year.
6th straight, because we had Nico 6 years.
Nico Bird, so you know, so it's just maybe you feel like sometimes these guys get overlooked. They're actually playing with a guy who's not an athlete quarterback, but maybe a real quarterback too.
True, and that's fair. And well, yeah, I mean, you know, we're a tailback oriented offense, and sometimes when you look at the stats, you'll see like you know, they may have only 10 catches. All right, but those 10 catches are for 800 yards because they're scoring 60-yard strikes. So you know, we've always had the vertical passing game off of, you know, old school play action off tailback. You know, now that may change a little bit as Brock gets older, but you know, we'll probably keep doing that. So.
Well, I mean, they've certainly excelled in that.
They have. I'm very proud of them. If everybody would see how hard they worked, you know, we talked them into running track to continue to work on their speed, and they went out for track this year, and actually I think Seedlings qualified to go to states in hurdles, and I think all of them qualified to go in the hurdles. So I mean, it's good that they want to do that. They want to make themselves better. I don't have to call them in here and get on them about working hard. They do it on their own.
What type of things are you doing now to make sure you can keep that blood pressure down a little bit?
Oh well, I got, you know, the beauty over here is, I've said it all along, even during the state championship runs, I've got a great coaching staff. I mean, I got 4 guys on my staff that's been coach of the year. Scotty's been coach of the year 2 out of the last 3 years in baseball. Max ran the show pretty much this week. He's probably one of the best young coaches in the whole state. And then of course you got Kevin. So I got some dudes that are good coaches. So, I think if you run your program, a good compliment if you can run your program is the machine keeps going even if you're not the one out there yelling and screaming. So, it's a good opportunity, like I said, for Max to get out there and run the show a little bit. He's done a great job this year. He came from Concord when Dave Walker left. Max came back with me up here,
Right.
and it's been a blessing.
Well, John, we're certainly glad that you're healthy and will be there on Friday night. Looking forward to the game.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm back.